will detail the aspects of security in regards to cloud computing. Shortly, we'll be discussing what cloud computing is, the Cloud Security Alliance, controls within cloud security, encryption standards, and much more. Okay, firstly, what is cloud computing? Cloud computing can be defined as the practice of using a network of remote servers hosted on the internet to store, manage, and process data, rather than having a local server or a personal computer. So, any organization using the services require less infrastructure and have on-demand access to data with minimal management involved. Now that we know what cloud computing is, cloud security is a part of cloud computing which is required in order to safeguard information and to protect data being stored on a remote server. So, what is cloud security? Cloud security can be defined as the actions and procedures or policies which an entity puts in place in order to secure information, data applications, and infrastructure associated with the cloud. A cloud is usually a group of interconnected devices connected to the internet. A good example of a cloud could be a data center with several computers incorporated. With respect to cloud security, there's an organization called the Cloud Security Alliance, and the CSA for short is a nonprofit organization which defines and raises awareness of best practices within the industry in order to enhance user experience and also provide maximum security. There are several parties involved, ranging from government, consumers, and associations to individuals who offer research information and new findings to facilitate development of best practices and standards within the cloud computing industry. This organization was founded in 2008 by a large group of volunteers wanting to guide enterprises who were adopting cloud computing into their organization. Since then, it's developed over 30 working groups performing research on several aspects pertaining to cloud security. A couple of research topics would be cloud standards, professional certifications, in order to guarantee that a system is secured properly. Some of the certifications which the CSA provides will be the STAR, Security Trust and Assurance Registry certification. It's a three-tiered program which provides self-assessment from a third-party audit and continuous monitoring. Another certification which the CSA provides would be the CCSK Certificate of Cloud Security Knowledge, which checks the benchmark of competency in cloud computing security. There are also other certifications provided by the CSA which could be found on their official website, cloudsecurityyalliance.org. Now we're into controls in cloud security. So, cloud security aims to ensure data and information on the cloud is secure and can be transmitted without interruption. In order to maximize security, certain controls need to be put in place by management, and different organizations have their own unique ways of putting in cloud security controls. But major controls which need to be put in place could be known or could be listed as security architecture, access management, data protection, governance, risk management, compliance, and availability. So, with respect to security architecture, every cloud requires very strong security architecture in order to protect the entire system, which provides service from physical asset management to virtual machines and applications within the organization and how they work. Also, access management. This control method would deal with access to the cloud and how data is validated using several cryptographic protocols. And data protection is a normal, everyday scenario whereby every organization needs to provide clients with cloud services have to guarantee customers that their data is secure in the event of an occasion data whereby the server is breached. And with respect to governance, the concept of governance in cloud security will help every organization put in place principles in order to protect how information is stored or accessed from the cloud. And every organization providing cloud services need to comply with the legal obligations with the being enforced within that region which they're operating in. And availability is also an aspect which an organization looks at providing cloud services. Data should be readily available to clients, even with strong encryption protocols in place.
There are many different kinds of cloud-based encryption. Many organizations, such as Facebook, have their own encryption standards. Example of encryption in cloud computing is RSA, which is an abbreviation for the last names of the three original founders of the encryption: Ron Rivest, Adi Shamir, and Leonard Adelman. RSA encryption involves a public key and a private key. The public key encrypts the message when it is sent out to the recipient and is only decrypted in a limited amount of time by the private key on the end of the recipient. Other examples of encryptions include DES/SDAS, which is Data Encryption Standard, or simplified DES, Secure Sockets Layer, Rivest Cipher 5, router-based encryption, and of course there are many more. Most legal obligations in cloud security are negotiated in the service level agreement, which is a contract between the consumer and the service provider. The contract details the level of service the consumer is receiving, the liability of the firm in regards to the data, the intellectual property that states who owns the data, and the end of service agreement. The end of service agreement details when the contract has run its course. The service provider can only begin providing service once an agreement has been reached. Currently, there are still many issues with cloud security. When cloud data is breached, financial information being exposed can be a big deal, but the real loss occurs when health info, any trade secrets, and intellectual property are exposed. Losing some of this information can lead to lawsuits from customers, which in turn can lead to extremely high legal fees. Investigating data breaches can also cost the organization a great amount. Ultimately, organizations are responsible for their own data even when stored in a third-party cloud server, and should ensure the security of this data through various forms of security and encryption. In conclusion, cloud security is extremely new technology at this point, and improvements to security are necessary if service providers would like to attract more and bigger consumers. It is an efficient technology on a small scale and extremely flexible at that, but it is still considered unreliable by too many big players in the corporate market because of its history. Thank you for watching your presentation, and we hope you enjoyed.